Welcome back to the Synergistic Edge, where high performers win everywhere. I'm your host, Alvy Thompson Jr. And what I want to do in this episode is actually take you behind the scenes of a course that I made called Fundamentally Well. And in that course, I start off by showing you what does it mean to dream well? And essentially why having a big dream for yourself is the catalyst for everlasting change. It's not enough to know the strategies or the tactics or the how on to do something. But before we can even get to that part, we have to have a big dream that is worth changing for. And what I'm going to do is give you access to this module, Dream Well, which is going to put you in the best position possible to understand, hey, why am I going to put in all this work to make changes? So enjoy this episode. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. Would love to help you out with any of that. Stay dynamic, my friend, and enjoy the episode. I'm telling you right now, if you take the time to master this, to put the reps in, and to open yourself up to your dream, this will change your life forever. Since I've been diving into this type of work and being able to visualize what my ideal life or what my dream life looks like, it has played a huge role in being a catalyst in my decision making, on understanding what is right for me and what is wrong for me and the people that I love, understanding how to plan, how to prioritize, all of it. And that is what we're diving into in this module. It is how to dream so big yet realistic that you're able to create the life that you want to live. Here's what we're going to cover in this module. We are going to cover what is a dream life? Why is a big dream so important to being fundamentally well? How to build your own strong dream, and who is on your dream team and what a dream team is. So what is a dream life? A dream life is many things and has multiple important components to it. And here is how we're going to first start to think about it. Number one, a dream life is a life in which you are clear on what you desire. When you know what you want out of life and what you want it to look like, it makes it that much more tangible to make it happen. I know countless clients that I've worked with in the past that they weren't clear on what the big why was behind them trying to make change. And as a result, it was really easy to keep the status quo. But as they got clear on what it was that they wanted, what was the life that they desired, it was only then that they were put in a position to clearly carve that path. Number two, in a dream life, you have the energy and vitality needed to create the life that you desire. If you don't have the energy required to make change, it is going to be damn near impossible to sustainably make that change happen. We know what it's like to be motivated, and within that motivation, you go and you grind. But what happens when that motivation inevitably runs out? You guessed it, you probably stop. Here is why having the energy and the vitality is so important. It takes energy to create change, and creating your dream life is the change that you're looking to make. So we have to make sure that you have the energy and vitality to go after your dream life. And this is something we're going to go much deeper in some of the future modules coming up. Number three, in order to live a dream life, you have to live by your values and principles. When you have set values and principles, it makes it so much easier to make the right decisions day in and day out. So as we move forward in this program, we are going to be putting together your values and principles and being able to identify those so that you can move forward with ultimate clarity. Number four, a dream life is a life in which you consistently fill up your own cup. Consistency is key. And I don't know, but you tell me, have you ever heard this saying before, that you cannot give from an empty cup? I know this all too well from my relationship with my mom. See, my mom's dream was very much to make sure that my brother and I lived our best life possible. She would sacrifice and bend over backwards to make sure that we were okay. But here's the problem. She never filled her cup up. She never made sure that she had what she needed in herself in order to pour into us. And as a result, what happened? Her health was terrible. Obese, type 2 diabetic, addicted to opioid medication, fixed mindset, and a host of other things. Because of this, she never was truly able to give in the way that she wanted to, and she left us and passed away at the young age of 60. But I'll go deeper into this in later modules as well. Number five, A dream life is a life in which you are giving to others from everything that is overflowing from your own cup. This is one of the main things that I learned from my mom in her untimely death. By seeing how much my mom didn't pour into herself, that has reinforced in me the importance of filling up my cup first to ensure that I am healthy and vital enough to pour into people like you. And what you'll find out is as you're creating your dream life and you want these resources to be able to go out in the world to do great things, you get to consistently be filling your cup. And that's what fundamentally well is all about. And we're going to dive into in later modules how to consistently fill up your cup so you can help others, so you can live your dream life. And finally, number 6, a dream life is a life in which you have a passion for life and you enjoy the journey. Don't get me wrong, life is not all about rainbows and unicorns and constantly being at the top of the mountain. There are trials and tribulations, there are challenges in front of you, yet you get to enjoy each and every challenge. You get to enjoy the trials and tribulations, and you definitely get to enjoy overcoming hard, difficult things and seeing it from the other side. We're here to celebrate every moment of the way. We're here to grow. We're here to get better. And in order to do this, we get to understand that a dream life is a life in which we enjoy the journey for what it is, not just for the highs. We're not afraid of the lows, but we have a passion to live at a high level and see our dream come true. So why is having a dream so important to being fundamentally well? I'm glad you asked. The number one problem I've seen working with clients is that when you don't have a dream that is big enough, that excites you, that scares you a little bit, that is important to you, it's so hard to change. As human beings, we are accustomed to taking the path of least resistance, meaning we'll do whatever it is that we need to do to stay comfortable, to stay the same, to enjoy the status quo. But here's the problem. The longer that you sit and you wait and you stew in that level of mediocrity, the more discontent you're going to be. And it's like a slow, painful death. I'm being a little hyperbolic, but it's just one of these things where you just get little nick after paper cut, where eventually over a long time, you finally say, okay, I'm going to change. But this change doesn't happen unless you have a dream that's big enough to go after. And once you do have this dream that is big enough to go after, it allows you to overcome the resistance, the thing that stops you when you are looking to make a change. As it pertains to creating your own dream, these are 4 things I want you to think about. Number 1, you want your dream to be stretchy yet realistic. This means that this dream of yours should scare you a little bit. It should be so big and audacious that it kind of has you open up your eyes and be like, all right, this is tough, but we're going to go after it because it's worth it. Yet at the same time, your dream shouldn't be unrealistic. If you're 5'2" and your dream is to be an NBA basketball player, I would say that's not realistic. However, outside of these true physical constraints, you have what it takes to create the dream that you want. Let it be big. Let it be scary. Let it be audacious. Let it be stretchy, yet make sure it is real. It can happen. And as a human being, there's a whole lot that you can have happen in your life. Number 2, your commitment is so much higher when you make your dream life or your goals your own. A big problem that I see out there is that you might try to create a goal that's actually really important to your parents. Maybe it's important to your colleagues. Maybe it's important to society at large, yet it might not be that important to you. And when this isn't important to you, it's so much easier to fall off. So make sure this goal that you're creating is yours. This dream life that you're creating is coming from your heart, coming from your soul. Because when it comes from you, your commitment is going to be that much higher. Number 3, as it pertains to goals, I want you to focus on process goals rather than outcome goals. For example, an outcome goal is what most people think about when they're creating their dream life. An outcome goal would be something like this. Say part of your dream is to lose 30 pounds, to be healthy and vibrant and have the energy to move around. Losing 30 pounds is an outcome goal, meaning you did not achieve it until you get there. While that's not a terrible thing, it's not ideal. And this is why. If you wait until you lose the 30 pounds to celebrate, to encourage yourself, to congratulate yourself, it's going to be a tougher process. So what do we do instead of having outcome goals? We focus on process goals. What are process goals? Process goals are the things that you do that are going to end up getting you to the outcome goal that you're looking for. For example, a process goal in the realm of losing 30 pounds would be going to the gym and resistance training 3 times a week. It would be making sure that 18 out of your 21 meals per week are great meals filled only with whole foods. Process goal would be drinking enough water every day, getting enough steps in every day. What's great about these process goals is that you can celebrate them day over day, week over week, month over month. And if you follow through on these process goals, you are much more likely to hit your outcome goal. If you know you're going to the gym 3 times a week, you know you're consistently getting 10,000 steps in, you're consistently drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water, you're eating whole food meals, 18 out of 21 meals throughout the week, you are going to be well on your way to achieving that outcome. So remember, focus on the process goals. And lastly, number 4, being committed is much more important than being rigid. To be committed means that you are focused on being the person that does the work, that takes the action, that does the doing. You're committed to being that person versus being rigid means that you are in this place where you have to cross every T, dot every I, check every check on the checklist in order to be successful. And this is where I see people go wrong. And maybe you've experienced this in your life. Have you ever had a goal and you told yourself that you were going to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z in order to get it done? You do A, you do B, you do C. You do X, you do Y, but then you fall off and you don't do Z. And what happens? You beat yourself up, you throw your hands in the air and say you forget it because you have this all or nothing mentality. That's not what this is about. Being fundamentally well, being dialed into your dream, you are simply committed to being the person who shows up and does the things, does their best, and understands that your best is going to be different each and every day. Yet, you know you can look yourself in the mirror and know that you did everything within your own capabilities to get it done. And if you mess up, you're committed to hopping right back on the horse the next day. This is how you sustain success. This is how you live out your dream. These 4 things will completely change your life, your trajectory, and have you live out your dream and be on the way to being fundamentally well. In recap, here's what we covered. What is a dream life? Why having a strong dream is so important. And we started talking about how you can craft your dream. In the next lesson, we're going to dive into who you get to be in order to make your dream come true. This is so important because it connects everything from this lesson on how to form your dream into thinking about who you actually have to be from a beingness standpoint in order to make your dream come true. The first concept I want to dive into is this concept called be, do, have. Most of us, and what I've seen so much in my work, working with all different types of people, whether it is executives, lawyers, professional athletes, or everyday people, is this. In order to make a change, people focus on have, do, be. Here's the common example of have, do, be. Well, when I have more money, then I'll go out with my friends and be happy. Is that there? Once I have more money, then I'll go out with my friends and then I'll be happy. Notice how have goes first, then the doingness, and then the beingness. This is problematic. If you're waiting to have something that might be out of your control in order to go do something that's in your control, that's going to take so long to be the person that you're looking to be. So instead of focusing on this idea of have, do, be, we flip that around and we focus on be, do, have. What is your beingness? Who do you get to be in order to take the action, in order to have the result? For example, if I decide I'm going to be disciplined, I'm going to be focused, then I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to eat healthier, or I'm going to spend time with my family and friends in order to have happiness. Is that there? What's the difference? I'm thinking about the character of the person I have to be in order to get the result that I'm looking for. Beingness is all about how you show up in the world. Your beingness is typically going to be some type of adjective. You're going to be courageous. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to be focused. You're going to be integrous. By focusing on your being, that is going to put you in position to actually do the work, to actually take the action. And once you take that action, more likely than not, you're going to have the result that you're looking for. So in order to create your dream life, I want you to really think about and focus on being the person that accomplishes the dream that you have. What are the adjectives that this person have? What are the qualities? What's the beingness that you get to embody in order to do and then have what you desire? So now let's focus on who you have to be in order to have your dream come true. first thing I want you to think about, who can you love becoming? Who can you love becoming? Meaning you're reinventing yourself. You're evolving. What is the picture you have of who you can be in order to live the life that you desire? Do you get to be disciplined? Do you get to be focused? Do you get to be determined? What are the qualities and characteristics that you are going to embody in order to take action going forward? Number two, what do you love enough to change for? We spoke about this a little bit in the last lesson, that in order to get away from the status quo, to stop doing what you've been doing that is getting you further away from who you want to be, you have to have a strong motive to change. What's important enough to be fundamentally well? What's important enough to master your health? What is important enough to live the life that you desire to live? Maybe the big thing is you want to be around for not just your children, but your children's children. Maybe you want to be an extreme and great example of what's possible for others. Maybe your dream is to build the home that you wish you had growing up. Maybe your dream includes having enough time in your life to spend it with your loved ones and having enough time and energy to go out and enjoy the life that you've built. Number three, avoid ruminating on what you don't have. Too often, this just reinforces negative aspects of life, negative actions that keep you away from where you want to go. Honestly, whatever's gotten you up to this point that hasn't been serving you now and is not going to serve you going forward, feel free to drop that. Release that weight. Stop focusing on what you don't have and focus on what you do have at your disposal right now. There is no better time to evolve and go after your dream than the present moment. And the more you focus on what you don't have or what you haven't done up to this point, the more energy you're taking away from what you can do today. So stop ruminating on what you don't have, stop ruminating on the past, and let's build forward from where you are right now. Number four, embody that the joy is in the journey. I talked about this in the last lesson, but it is so important that it bears repeating. You get to embody that this is a journey, that every step of the way matters. You get to embody this new way of being. You get to embody this version of yourself that is going to take you to your dream life and get you all the things that you are looking for. The quicker you embody this, meaning you make it a part of you, you make it who you are, the faster you're going to have results and the more long lasting your results are going to be. And lastly, become a living example of what's possible. Every single day, you have people watching you. You might not notice it, but whether it's your kids, whether it's your spouse, your friends, or even strangers, the energy that you bring to life is contagious and it's definitely noticeable. So you get to become an example of what's possible by simply embodying who you are, who you're becoming, and keeping your focus on what matters most. So Alvy, what do I do if I don't have a dream? I've seen this countless times, where a client has come to me knowing that a change is needed, but they weren't in the process or have never had the skills to really dive deep into what their dream is. I get it. A lot of us have been taught to think small, to be comfortable, to stay inside the box. Yet how many of us have built up the skills to dream big, to imagine what's possible, and then actually go after that? Not many of us have, but this is what fundamentally well, and specifically dream well, is all about. It's being able to develop the dream, creating something so big, so juicy that it pulls you into action. But I get it. It can be hard to get there right away. So what do you do instead? Instead, you think about, what is your nightmare? If you don't have a dream, what's the nightmare? The nightmare being, what is the worst case scenario or the worst case scenarios that you do not want to happen in your life? Maybe you do not want to get a divorce if you don't better your relationship with your spouse. Maybe you don't want to die early from heart disease or a heart attack or cancer. Maybe you don't want to form a terrible relationship with your kids to where they don't want to spend any time with you as they gain their independence and as you grow older. Understand, a nightmare can push you into action. And one of the best quotes that I ever heard that put this in perspective was from Jerry Welsh, where he says, if you have a big enough dream, you don't need a nightmare. One of my goals for creating Fundamentally Well was to help you and others be able to move from this place of a dream instead of waiting for this worst case scenario to come up. I've had clients that wanted to work with me because their doctor told them, hey, if you don't change what you're doing, we got to put you on blood pressure medication. Hey, if you don't change what you're doing, you're going to go from being pre-diabetic to diabetic. I've had men that I've worked with who their wife told them, if you don't change something, we're going to have a problem, and or you're going to need to go to anger management classes. There's been other things that have come up, but ultimately the nightmare scenario is what encouraged people to take action. And my hope is that instead of waiting for a nightmare, which you can, but instead of waiting for a nightmare, you focus on your dream instead. So to recap what we covered, we talked about how be, do, have is so much stronger and powerful than have, do, be when it comes to creating your dream. We talked about who you get to be in order to have your dream happen, focusing on beingness, these adjectives that you embody in order to create the life that you want to live. And lastly, we spoke about how you could use a nightmare scenario or your nightmare in order to decide how to create change in your life. In this lesson, we are taking a deep dive into your dream team. In this lesson, we're going to cover what is a dream team, who is on your dream team, and why having a dream team is important. Let's dive in. So what is a dream team? A dream team are the people in your life who are part of your journey. These are the people that you trust to give you honest feedback. And these are also the people that you trust to hold you accountable along the way. When you think about choosing your dream team, understand that this is a catalyst for ensuring that your dreams come true. Some of the obvious people, or maybe not so obvious people on your dream team, are your family. It's your wife, it's your husband, it's your kids. These are the people who are directly going to benefit and be impacted by how you live your life. So when I think about my dream team, my wife Alejandra is on it. A couple of my closest friends are on it because these are the people that I trust to give me honest feedback. How many people in your life do you trust to give you honest feedback? Understand, you can't allow everyone to give you feedback and for you to take in that feedback because it would be damn near impossible to continue moving in the right direction. So what I recommend is to have a 2, 3 people close to you in your life, friends or mentors who you trust to hold you accountable. These are people who have your best interests at heart. These are people who are going to point out when you're off the path. And these are also people who are going to challenge you to get back on the path when you are off of it. Understand, not everyone's opinion about you matters. This is why we have to throw out these ideas of what social media says or what the collective consciousness says, and even sometimes what our own parents say. So much of our conditioning are based off of these external factors, yet it is so important that in your dream, you are focused on what is most important to you and the people on your dream team. If you take everyone's opinion to heart, it's going to be damn near impossible to move forward. Yet, when you have your trusted 2 to 3 people whose feedback you can take in wholeheartedly, it is going to allow you to continually move in the right direction and be the person that you desire to be. I want you to take a moment right now and think about who are these people? Who are the people that are on the journey with you right now? Who are the people that you will allow to give you feedback? Who are the people that you will allow to hold you accountable? Think about the journey. Think about the feedback needed. Think about the accountability that you're going to have while you are on the journey of transforming your life. Keep these people close. Love these people dearly because they are going to play a huge role in you being fundamentally well and ultimately living your dream life. So to recap what we covered, we talked about what is a dream team, who to have on your dream team, and why your dream team is so important.